I've got a feeling you're looking for me, Henry.
Your father sent me.
So I can tell you how to get to our fortress. A task for the lowest lackey, wouldn't you say? Well, you don't need to answer that.
Right, yeah. That's exactly why he sent me. But how...
What are you staring at? Do you think I was born yesterday? I was listening to you from the top of the stairs. So, this passage, it leads to the cellars, but the outside entrance is hidden underground in a forest, not far from the castle. You can find the exact place if you know where and how to look.
Is it in a cave hidden behind a waterfall?
Well, no. But it would be nice. Listen, nearby Malashov is a stud farm managed by Hashtal, an old friend of Papa's. We had a wayside shrine set up at the crossroads before the stud farm.
A wayside shrine? How do you mean?
Are you a Christian at all? Never mind. It's a big white column. You can't miss it. From the shrine, you should be able to see a group of boulders. Beyond them are the remains of an old chapel. You have to find it, and then there's a kind of... how can I describe it? A window. A gap you can look through.
If it's still standing.
I hope so too. Anyway, it should direct you towards some ruins. Go there. And now pay attention. Somewhere in those ruins is a stone cross. You have to find it and look where its top points to. If you go the way the cross is pointing, you'll find another one, and again follow the direction it's pointing in. That should lead you to a small clearing, marked by a cross in the rocks. You dig there, and you should get to the passageway.
That's a really cunning solution. No random fool would ever find it.
That was exactly my intention when I thought it up. Thanks, Henry. I think you're no fool, so you shouldn't have any trouble. And that's not all. Getting into the castle is the easy part. Don't forget, you have to get out too.
You're right. Horses will be needed. For me and for Capon.
That's exactly what I was thinking. Fortunately, I know how to arrange that. Stop off at the stud farm I told you about, and ask Hashtal for horses.
Where's the cash?
No catch. On the contrary, please tell Hashtal that Papa is still paying for masses for his dead father, as agreed years ago. And even if he's not too keen, tell him we'll pay him for the horses.
You got it well figured out. Thanks. Don't know how I'd manage without you.
You've done plenty to help, and now it's our turn. Papa said something like that, didn't he? You know, you might not be aware of it, but you saved us from a mountain of trouble. Papa would never admit it, but alone, we wouldn't be able to resist the Mint Master for long. You've earned the right to the gratitude and friendship of our house for all time.
I'm glad I could help you and your father.
The pleasure is ours, but tell me, would you do it if you didn't need our help in return?
My lady, I'd help you any time.
Truly? In that case, you certainly won't refuse my request for a little... service? But you mustn't breathe a word of it to anyone. Understand?
I'm listening.
I wanted to ask you, since you're going to be at Malashov, if you could bring me something from there.
And what might that be?
A book. It has great value to me, and I was starting to worry it would stay there forever. But if you're going there now...
And what book is this that's so important?
It's hard to explain to someone uninitiated in the mysteries of writing.
What do you mean, uninitiated? I happen to know how to read.
Really? Mea culpa. You are full of surprises. So if you do find the book, you'll be able to read it.
Well, yeah. That's the way it goes with books.
In that case, I'm not going to make it easy for you. If you'd like to know why it's so important to me, you'll have to find it first.
Fear not, my lady. I'll gladly tear the entire fortress apart to find that book for you.
Restraint, valiant knight. I value your determination, but this way would give yourself away immediately, and I'd remain without my book. Find it nice and quietly, then come back.
Your wish is my command.
It shouldn't be hard. The book is bound in scarlet leather and inlaid with gold. You won't find many like such there. And take this, so you don't get lost in the fortress.
Thank you.
It is quite possible you won't get back to Malashov again. So don't forget about me. And Henry, be careful.
Be extra alert on your watch. If I find anybody slacking off, they'll get the whip.
You got it, Conrad.
Diepold, I'll send Hyman to the gate. You'll be in charge of the southern and eastern fortifications.
All right, Conrad. I'll get right on it.
Franz, run along back to the guardhouse and get some sleep so you don't fall asleep during the night watch.
Aye, don't worry.
The rest of you know your orders. You'll be sorry if you don't. Dismissed. And don't drink too much.
Got it, Conrad.
Vitek, that cart is starting to get on my fucking nerves.
I understand. I'll get right on it.
And tell Drahomira it's getting late, so she won't forget to take some food to our honored guests. I gave her the keys so I wouldn't have to fuck around with it myself.
Don't worry, it's already taken care of. I saw her taking it to them.
Well, that's great. That woman must be the only one I can rely on.
Wait!
I don't know you. You definitely are not from the garrison. I'm going for the guard.
Don't go anywhere. I came with a message from King Sigismund. It was a long journey, and I'm famished.
Forgive me, sir. I wasn't expecting you, but you can look around and take whatever you've got an appetite for.
Thank you. Tell me, I've heard you've got a captive lord here. Hans Capon of Lipa, I believe?
True, sir. Some very important fella. But I only bring him food. Lord von Burgo can tell you more when he returns.
I would like to talk to him. Without Lord von Burgov listening in, would it be possible?
I'm sorry, sir, but I can't help you.
Well, I'm sure we can work it out, eh? You yourself said you'd take him food. I'll gladly reward your service.
Well, perhaps. Since you say you're from King Sigismund himself, here's the key from his room. It's at the top of the fortress.
Thanks very much. I'd like to stay in the fortress until morning.
Certainly, sir. Go and see Lady Ophelia on the second floor. She'll take care of you.
All right. Thanks.
Wait a moment, sir. Sometimes the fortress is locked for the night. Here, so you can get in, sir.
Very well. Thank you. That'll be all. I wish you well.
Didn't have much anyway.
Conrad's blacklist, and ever since he yelled at you last time, I reckon you are too. So what do you say we help each other out a bit here? We'll hole up a bit downstairs, and you won't say anything to the captain about it.
Have no fear. Just have
She's some third-rate daughter of some lord from who knows where, so she was actually quite lucky that old Otto took a liking to her. The thing is, everybody knows where she comes from and treats her accordingly.
bloody hell. Old Otto? He'd have you whipped for that.
You're right. I better keep our lord out of my mouth and stuff it with sausage instead. So let's dig in and make the best of Ofka's favour.
Wait!
What the devil are you doing in my chambers? And at this hour? Guards!
Easy, my lady. Don't be angry. Vincent von Kumberg at your service. I came to see Lord von Berghoff. Unfortunately, we missed each other, but the guard told me you'd take care of me with the kindness you're well known for.
Oh, pardon me, Sir Vincenz. Lady Ophelia, pleased to make your acquaintance. Nobody told me you were arriving.
I was originally heading to Kuttenberg, but it was getting dark, so I thought I'd come and surprise Lord von Berghoff.
Well, you certainly surprised me, but I'm sure you must be tired after your journey. Please, follow me.
Thank you. You're too kind. I would like to rest my head for a while.
You're lucky, sir. We just happen to have a free room here for guests, which is all too rare. Sir Otto often has visitors when he's in the castle, which I'm sure comes as no surprise to you. I should also mention that there's a second room on the floor, but please excuse me. Entry there is forbidden to you. It's reserved for, distinguished and long-term guests of Lord van Berghoff. Here, Sir Vincenz. Get some rest. Tomorrow I'll take proper care of you, and you can tell me about your travels. Otto will surely be back in a couple of days. Until then, you'll be my guest. Now, please excuse me. I'm tired and I'm going to lie down. I wish you a good night. Sir Vincenz, I've shown you the room. I'll attend to you more in the morning. Until then, please respect my privacy.
I ought to go and see Rosa when I'm in town. No doubt she'd like to know how it went with that book.
My respect. Who are you off to see smelling like that?
By the way, like you were saying about that book,
My favourite book? Pray tell, did you find it?
as I wandered through the fortress, I stumbled upon von Bergov's chambers, and there it lay. Red leather, gold inlay, just as you said.
You really found it. Thank you, thank you, thank you. By the way, did you have any time to leaf through it and see what it's about?
I read a bit of it.
What did you think?
While reading it, I thought the writing style seemed familiar.
Really?
Well, yeah. As if I knew the writer himself. Or herself.
Women writing books. Come now.
Why not? I bet they would write better than many men.
Such audacity.
More like experience. I once helped with copying. Most of it was boring drivel.
I can imagine. A person does all that work to learn to read and write, but then they sit you down at a table to copy the works of others for the rest of your life.
Waste of time, right?
Not just time, above all, talent.
Hold on. Who wrote this then?
I did. Look, you've never thought about writing something.
Me? And what would I write?
How should I know? Poetry, a novel, a treatise, or a whole book?
That's a tempting notion. Who knows? In another life, I might have become a writer.
Wouldn't you want to at least give it a try?
I suppose I'm not quite sure where you're going with this.
There are still a few blank pages left, so we could finish writing it together. You and me. What do you think?
That sounds great.
We'll have plenty of light and privacy in my chambers. Will you escort me?
My pleasure.
How should I start?
You haven't thought of anything yet?
Now, I have many ideas, but we must contribute in equal part.
Both? Well, fine. What should I do?
Just tell me what you'd like to read about. A tale of a man or a woman? I'll take careful notes of everything.
There are heaps of stories about men. So I propose one about a woman.
All right, a woman then. But I'd need to know more about her.
Such as...
Tell me one trait that is important for you. What would impress you in a girl?
I think above all that she should be clever.
And isn't that rather detrimental for a girl?
Only fools say that. Jilted half-wits who met girls smarter than themselves.
You'd be surprised. My father is no fool, but at times he wishes I were more of a goose. Or better yet, that I would change overnight into a sun. But if the lady in our story is clever, should she employ her wits for good or evil?
I'm for good intentions. If we come up with an interesting woman, it would be a shame to write her as evil.
I agree. Too bad it's only on paper. I'd like to meet Our Lady in the flesh. Well, just about finished.
Well, let's have a look.
Not yet. Something's missing.
What?
A picture. I don't trust myself with proper illumination, but I think I can handle a sketch. Especially if you'll be my model.
What? And what on earth do I have to do?
Imagine a beautiful lady is standing before you, and you are courting her. What would you do?
I'd rather keep what I do to myself. But how about something like this?
Well, now we're done.
Finally. I'm sore all over.
Your suffering is over. Come take a look at what we've done. Your reward. So what about that story of ours? Tell me your impressions.
Too bad there aren't more books like this. If there were, I might end up turning into a scholar.
Really? I'll take that as the highest possible compliment. And what about the sketch? For such a slapdash job, it's not bad, right?
Oh, it's pretty, really. I don't think I've ever seen anything like that.
I know I'm no master illuminator, but otherwise, I think we can be quite satisfied. And thank you for the help. I really enjoyed it.
Well, so did I. And for that matter, you're an interesting girl, and I'd like to get to know you a little better.
No beating around the bush. How about that? Please do stop by sometime. I wager it will be enlightening for both of us. Perhaps I can show you my collection of hunting trophies.